Okay, I'm back. I had to move because one of the actual cougars respawned on top of me, and I decided that I'm not going to cut out anything. I'm just gonna because you're gonna miss me leveling up here because of these guys. And here's the funny part about these guys. Um, my last video was actually 16 minutes long. The reason I could tell is because I used my Earthstone just before I started recording, and it went by about 15 minutes by the time I stopped recording. So I actually cut out a couple minutes following the planes thing. Now, what I did there was actually pretty clever because I killed one and didn't take a lot of damage, but my mana was low. Because I don't take a lot of damage off the first one, I don't. You can usually take out a second one. Melee classes usually have a crap load of armor, so if you guys are out here doing these quests, do not be afraid to like take on two or three of these guys in a row. In fact, I'll show later when I do like paladins and stuff the difference in strategy. For most any magic classes, you want to do just hit them from a distance at first. Then, once they get close to you, start beating the crap out of them physically. Ugh, sorry about that again. Lunch is coming back up on me. But these guys are pretty. I mean, they're not tough at my level, but if you get them in groups, they can do some serious damage. I'm actually going to get some mana here. Yep, Kodos are back. Ugh. Note to everybody, do not eat cheddar wurst and Pringles, and then drink grape juice. I'm getting burps like crazy. Yeah. Oh, if you've noticed my page, I subscribe to a lot of people like Deceased Crab and such. They're actually... I did not know Let's Plays exist till I saw Deceased Crab's Let's Play of La Mulana. And let me tell you, that guy is... I question his sanity a lot now. But he's still pretty awesome, so if anyone wants to see some really good Let's Plays, go watch his. His is better than mine so far. This is like one of the few games I have on here that no one else has tried to do that I've ever seen. I haven't seen any Let's Plays of certain walkthroughs. As it says, I'm not going to do the full 52 combinations. I am going to do it for for each race, but only a certain class. So if someone wants to pick up the slack and do the other ones, I'm more than happy to accept that factor. I won't say you're mimicking me or anything because I actually recommend that someone does the other ones because I'm not going to do them. And if someone, like, if I get a certain number of... Oh, crap. No. Yeah. You see what I did there? I was about to attack a cougar, and I didn't because one attacked me. And I think I'm going to die here, too. So, I'm going to heal. That's going to take priority. And crap, Thorns didn't wore off. Yeah, that's another thing you gotta watch out for, is if your spells wore off. I'm using Healing Touch, just because I want to make sure I kill this one. Yeah. That's happened to me before, where they just killed me because my spell got off before I could keep it from actually hitting the target. The only way to stop your spell from casting is to move, really. I mean, I've tried switching targets. It still goes after the first target you picked. God damn. Cheddar wursts make me burp. I have to remember that for my future Let's Plays. Yeah, anyway. Your best bet is to just try and move a lot, because when you move, it disrupts your spell automatically. So you don't have to worry about the enemy... you hitting an enemy while one's attacking you. Oh, and there's a swoop over there. Okay, yep, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and take out the stalker here. And then go after the swoop, and then the stalker that's near it, I will try and take down. All while trying to traverse killer terrain because there's two freaking cougars both sides of me. So I have to be very careful. I have to hope that the swoop doesn't attack me before I'm ready for him, because that would mean my utter defeat. Okay, I'm going to try and take the swoop out fast as possible. Why? Because I don't like swoops. and I still need 4 feathers from these guys. Yeah, you'll notice like different creatures will have the same paint pattern, or they'll have like a small difference in their patterns. Like the prairie stalk, like these dudes, prairie stalkers and prairie wolves look almost exactly alike, except for maybe a minor difference in the color. You'll notice that a lot. That they'll just recycle enemies like this and just change the color a bit. I know when you get to, if you're human, when you get to Westfall, there's wolves out there that look just like this, only they're a bit bigger. And later on, you'll fight things like murlocs, which I'm going to be doing a full series on because they deserve a full series of them constantly being slaughtered by players, because I hate murlocs. It's just who I am. I hate them. But eventually you'll find murlocs that are different colors, like white murlocs and so on and so forth. But there's eventually one thing I found that's worse than the normal murlocs. And those are, if you've ever been to the wetlands, you've probably seen the bluegill murlocs. Some of those dudes are freaking huge. I mean, they're as big as Tauren, or bigger than Tauren. And Tauren are, I think, the biggest race currently in World of Warcraft. Ah, a green item. Cool. Malachite. Okay. Green items, there are 2 things you can do with them. If you need them for one of your ability classes, which is usually what? There's multiple types of green items. There's materials, which is what malachite is. It can be used by certain classes or certain job skills to make items. And then there are armoring and stuff. Okay? The armors and stuff you can disenchant if you've got the enchanting. The malachite can be used by engineers and jewel crafters and such, so that they can do what they do best. God damn it. Still didn't get that claw. Grrr, I want that claw. I want to steal his claw. Now here's the sad part. I'm going to end up having to kill like 5 or 6 more of these guys just to get this one little claw. This quest is a guaranteed level up most of the time, because you have to kill so many of the prairie stalkers and flatland cougars to get this claw. It's not even funny. I mean, I'm on I don't know how many kills, and I started this quest when I had 0 EXP. I got 700 from that one, but still, looking at it, I need less than 400 till level, and I have killed I don't know how many of these wolves. If someone wants to count for me, go right ahead. I'm not gonna do it myself because I'm just too freaking lazy to get this one item. And this is what I mean by later on. Later on, you're gonna have to collect items from animals. One of the most common ones is if you play Night Elf, you have to get you can get Moonstalker pelts to do this one quest. I personally recommend that you can do it if you want to do 100% completion of all walkthroughs in the game, or all quests in the game. However, I personally try to avoid this quest now. I think I've only completed it once, ever. And it took me about 6 hours, because you have to kill these things, and there's only like 10 of them in the area that I've ever found. So you have to wait for them to respawn. And then by the time they all respawn and you kill them again, if you get one, you're lucky. Now I'm going to do the same classic, blast and run backwards, because as you see, that swoop moves back and forth. And last thing I want to do is get him tangled up in my little net of attacks here. And holy crap, here's that freaking boss I was talking about earlier. I'm most likely going to die here. Yep. Okay. Ghost Howl, level 12, really tough. Should I or shouldn't I? You know what? I don't feel like going all the way out there again. Here's what I'm going to do. I've never done this before. If you talk to these spirits, they'll resurrect you in the village. The first time you do it, you don't get any penalties. Except all weapons and armoring in your inventory takes a certain amount of damage. 25% to be exact. Now, here comes the fun part. Later on, you'll eventually get something called Resurrection Sickness. which lowers your stats by, I think it's like 50 or some percent. It takes off like 75% of all your stats. And the hard part about that is if you're far away from anyone that can repair your stuff, you're basically done for. Because you just have to sit and wait for it to go away. I'm going to end this video here and make the next one really quick. So I will see you all later. Adios. Goodbye.